Hello, everyone. This is Jennifer. Today I'll be your host as we look at conscious discipline. Conscious discipline is a social emotional learning program that aims to modify teacher and child behavior in order to create classrooms based on safety, connection, and problem solving instead of external rewards and punishment. Conscious discipline is based on current brain research, child development information, and developmentally appropriate practices. Conscious discipline has been specifically designed to make changes in the adult lives first. The foundation of conscious discipline is the brain state model. This is where an understanding that emotional states dictate behavior. The brain state model focuses on the internal emotions first using a neurodevelopmental brain model so adults and children may learn to self regulate effectively. Behaviors you may see include physical aggression, tantrums, and withdrawal. Dr. Becky Bailey says awareness is a better agent of change than consequences, helping children become aware of their actions by using the skills of noticing. They will strengthen their frontal lobes, bring awareness to their actions, and facilitate lasting change. It takes deliberate thought and careful phrasing for noticing to be effective. It needs to become second nature, but that takes practice. A video by Dr. Bailey is attached to this assignment for further. We need to teach and model using calming self talk when heightened emotions are present. Assertiveness is one of conscious discipline's main principles. It teaches us what you focus on, you get more of. We must tell the brain what to do. Teachers play a significant role in how children perceive each other and view misbehavior. We can teach them that inappropriate behavior is bad and needs rejection. Well, I guess if the behavior's bad, I'm bad too. There's going to be a consequence for that. Or we can teach them that inappropriate behaviors are a call for help, going to the victim first and teaching empowerment to respond to those behaviors. A quick command is an unconscious command. Sit down, be quiet, and stop running now. A conscious, assertive command would sound like this: when you run through the house while I'm trying to work, I feel distracted. I can't think. Walk quietly like this. Wait for the child to comply and encourage by saying, "You're walking quietly, and that's helpful." Assertiveness requires clear communication that focuses children's attention on what we want them to do. A passive voice sounds like a question. Can you start cleaning up? Passivity invites aggression. It demonstrates a want to please, a long to be perfect, or fear that decisions are not the correct ones. An aggressive voice sounds like a threat. Clean up now or else. Aggression begets aggression. Someone aims to win. It uses you versus me accusations and speaks for others and acts as a mind reader. However, an assertive voice sounds like a statement of fact. You pick up the blocks and put them in the bucket like this. Assertiveness dissipates aggression. It makes straightforward statements to clearly communicate the goal. You can teach young children about their brain using the flip your lid model. Check it out. Become the person you want your children to be. Become the teacher you want your students to have. You'll need to model and practice and model and practice. The brain functions optimally when it feels safe. We take a lot of measures to ensure that we provide physical safety for our students. However, emotional safety may be more difficult because it requires us to manage our own emotions in a responsible way. Anger is a natural emotion that indicates something needs our attention and a change is necessary. The safe place is a center where children can go to change their inner state from upset to composure in order to optimize their learning. It is the centerpiece of your self regulation program. We are all safekeepers. The emotional safety part of being a safekeeper in a crisis situation does not require us to squash our emotions, put on a happy face for the family, and go about our business. It requires us to be conscious enough to manage our own emotions in healthy ways so we can provide safety and a path of emotional regulation for children. It also requires us to be brave enough to mess up, pick ourselves up, and try again and again. Remember three things. Composure is your lifeline. It's okay to oops. Feelings are your friends, or at least not your enemy. Without oopses, it's easy to slip into a negative spiral that increases stress on ourselves and our relationships. It hinders our ability to be safe keepers. Oops, on the other hand, creates an uplifting spiral. It's a whole lot easier to regulate your emotions when you're willing to see our missteps as oopses rather than beating ourselves up. It's also a whole lot easier to stay regulated when you're willing to see another person's actions as an oops rather than a personal affront. Children co regulate with trusted adults, so an unregulated adult cannot regulate an unregulated child. In other words, if we freak out when they freak out, no one is calming down anytime soon. Composure is our lifeline as safekeepers. We can only provide emotional safety for children when we ourselves are emotionally safe. Composure is a self regulation action. It is the prerequisite skill adults need before they can discipline children. Calming looks different depending on the brain state you're in. If you are in a survival state, try to smile. It tricks your brain into thinking you're happy. Take a deep breath and pause. Stop that reaction from kicking in. Then relax. Exhale. Relax your shoulders and your facial muscles. But if you're in an emotional state, you need to remind yourself that you're safe and you can handle it. If you are lucky to be in an executive state, you are able to send all the love you have to someone else by wishing them well. It centers us, getting our hearts and minds in alignment, activating our prefrontal lobe, keeping us out of the survival state. It also radiates the all is well mindset that helps us move into higher centers of the brain. More information about this can be found in Conscious Discipline online. Feelings are friends, not enemies. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay to scale back your goals from accomplishing this, cooking that, and cleaning out the junk drawer to simply just making it in bed on time with minimal meltdowns. Giving yourself a hard time about hitting pause or doing something that helps you cope only serves to push you further away from safety and composure. Consciously refocus on your job as a safekeeper instead. Once you've gotten into the practice of noticing your emotional cues and breathing into them, you can even go deeper into befriending your feelings. When a child is reacting with body movements, say what you see. Your body is telling me. When a child is reacting verbally, say what you sense the child is feeling. You seem frustrated. You were hoping for, or maybe you wanted. Echo back the child's concern and then add, it's frustrating or it's sad you're feeling. Then you can handle it and I will help. Empathy is an effortful process requiring a willingness to temporarily give up our own thoughts and feelings in order to more accurately understand the thoughts and feelings of others. When the world is not going my way, I rely on my past experiences and internal voice to help me respond. You may see attention seeking, resistance, clinginess, perfectionism, name calling, or social exclusion. We thrive on patterns. They help us organize our thoughts, decisions, and daily lives. When the pattern is found, predictability is enhanced and safety is facilitated. Think about the last time a road you typically use was closed. Did you find yourself heading in that direction every time? Patterns help you get ready to work and for work. Without the pattern, anxiety is the norm. Children strive on patterns as well, probably more so. When they can pick out the patterns, they can predict what's going to happen next, which creates safety. Having visual schedules and routines add a lot of safety for a child. Routines and rituals are not the same. Routines establish patterns, add predictability, help regulate and set expectations. In the classroom, we systematically teach routines, many times with picture representations, easy enough for young children to read, such as attendance, lunch count, snack, transition, lining up, arrival, dismissal, hygiene, tissues, hand washing, using the restroom, etc. Rituals have connections as their goal, most important to creating the school family, and they produce a calming effect. Not only are school family rituals the glue that builds connectedness, they also provide children practice and the social skills needed for life. Rituals occur day after day in the same location at the same time and for the same reason connection. Patterning them in this way contributes to established social trust. Without trust, children will not relax their defensive enough to be guided. We want to look at noticing again. It is one of the most important skills for an adult to learn. All children have said, "Look at me, look at me." We optimize brain development by connecting what is happening with the words of encouragement. Encouraging children through noticing contributes to their welfare and builds their self worth. By using the words, "You did it," you're instilling pride in them for what they've done. We oftentimes say, "I'm proud of you," but that gives the message that they have to please others. So be non judgmental. Make sure you notice, but don't judge or assign value. School jobs can help reduce behaviors in your class. They can increase your teaching time, teach responsibility, build literacy skills, and improve self esteem and self worth. Some forms of praise can be discouraging, such as praise that is too general. It may feel like pressure, or praise that relies on value judgments may cause anxiety. If praise is only given for a successfully completed task, then that kind of devaluates the effort. Effective praise relies on describing, not judging. Encouraging praise is about accepting children for who they are. Check out these examples. What do you see? We are all unique, not special. Specialness prevents people from feeling connected to one another. The manner in which you perceive others defines who you are. What do you see? Teacher A sees a child off task and says, "What should you be doing right now?" Teacher B sees a child who needs help focusing and says, "What would help you to focus?" Children need encouragement, especially when they have made a poor choice. Encouragement is basically a dose of hope. People need hope to feel safe. The DNA process is an important part of helping a child upshift from the survival state to an emotional state. The D describes the child's actions. "You are doing this," and then do the action to get them to look at you. Once they look at you, then you can download your calm by taking a deep breath, which they will unconsciously mirror due to the mirror neurons. Then you're going to name the feeling. If you don't know, then guess. They'll tell you if you're wrong. Then acknowledge what happened or what they wanted. "Your arms are going like this." "Breathe. You seem angry. You wanted to keep playing." You are validating their feelings, showing them that what they are feeling is important and that you're going to help them. The only person you can make change is yourself. The power of free will is strong. As teachers, we need to recognize the difference between a meltdown when a child is in their survival state and a tantrum when a child is in their emotional state. When the child is in an emotional state, you can then offer two positive choices, which allows children to comply with our wishes while honoring their own free will. Conscious Discipline's goal is to create a system wide, relationship based community model for behavior management called the school family. Conscious Discipline is a relationship based program focused on problem solving, connection, and safety. It is not a program based on punishment and reward, nor is it power and fear based. It is not focused on praise. It is not about fixing bad kids. It is not something new that we need to teach. The implementation is an adult first model that teaches staff the social emotional skills to change the school culture, including discipline strategies and self regulation skills for children, parents, and other adults. We are hardwired from birth to seek connections. It's how we survive. If we do not have connections, it impacts our social, emotional, physical, and academic skills. Remember, connections on the outside only build connections on the inside. Check out the resource folder for a one-page cheat sheet for understanding how to build best connections. And don't forget, you'll see that lots of these procedures fit in with our second step, zones of regulation, as well as into PBIS. When I am in my executive state, I can be a wise advocate, show internal brilliance based on the needs of the moment, and see things from many perspectives. Behaviors you may see include willingness, reflection, empathy, conflict resolution, problem solving, managing emotions, setting goals, and achievement. Feelings are the bridge between emotions and solutions. Emotions aren't bad guys, they serve a vital purpose in our lives. We do not need to control them. We need to become acutely aware of them, manage them, listen to their message for returning to our highest values, and then learn how to express them more appropriately. This strategy is called the time machine. Problem solving is impossible without a vigilant focus on a solution instead of blame. Check out the steps 1 through 4. We're always trying to figure out others' motives. We want to know why they do what they do. The amygdala consistently scans surroundings for potential danger and stores the emotional events in our brain. When another driver cuts you off, if you get angry and upset, it doesn't change that driver's behavior. He will cut you off whether you are angry or not. All getting upset and angry does is send you to a survival emotional state. However, if you assign a positive intent, i.e., he's in a hurry and must not have seen me, you can avoid feeling angry and upset. For an example, for a child, is whatever triggers you, whether it's not cleaning up or whining, if you assign a negative intent, he's doing it to make my day harder. You are putting yourself in a lower brain state and making it even more difficult to deal with the situation at hand. However, if you assign positive intent, he just doesn't remember how to use his words. You are allowing yourself to upshift brain states and help that child learn. The power of intent. We have a choice to see the best or worst in each other. It allows us to see the light within every person at any time. Seeing the spark of beauty in each person does not excuse behavior or eliminate consequences. It allows us to hold hope for the hopeless, safety for the fearful, and encouragement for the discouraged. This will help change conflict into cooperation. Natural consequences are the most powerful teacher. Natural consequences allows the child to experience the consequences of their choice with adult coaching, not prearranged adult consequences. It's our job to teach these new skills. Give information. Your face is going like this. It tells me. Teach new skills. She must have bumped into you. Is it okay with you? Did you like it? Let's go tell her. Remember, mistakes are just opportunities to learn. Our job is to make up consequences, present them in a way that promotes consciousness, follow through depending on the child's choice, and facilitate the ownership of the upset. This is hard, but you can handle it. When you are in an integrated state, you are able to access your own wisdom. You use empathy to see the world from another's point of view, give and receive love. You are able to manage your impulses, time, priorities, and dreams to live the life you truly want. This is the goal for children that conscious discipline has. When we shift from reaching from the lower centers of our brains to responding to the higher centers of our brains, it's called self discipline. When we teach others how to shift from reacting from their lower centers of their brain to responding from the higher centers of their brains, we call it conscious discipline.